Hey guys, what's up? If you guys haven't heard about this channel, my channel is about the competition and I go by the Slurpee Maker. I'm talking about many things like having a fundamental or rudimentary basis to creating wealth for yourself that will end up having you secure somewhere, and I will talk about the competition. Competing factors such as simple ones and simple desires, or feeling that inferiority complex because of an studious person who has spent a lot of time to gather themselves and materials to have a position of power over a simple facet known as money is a sort of threat to many people known as Americans. We know that the rest of the world is very well aware of this sort of interest that America has, and so many people have come to realize that shutting out from the internet and completely going off the grid is something that is a good option, even going as far as cutting off the internet cables. After all, if you look at many things that luxury is, it is just the same old metal and couple of the different rare materials that make it really comfortable and really valuable. Many products throughout the world commit to the same efficiency of delivering the result that you could get from it. But the whole game here, because there is nothing to do other than focusing our time on creating and purchasing luxuries, because food is readily available at the expense of an asset known as money. The competition here is more or less telling you that your simple, rudimentary, and foundational stance for your ambition to create money is a huge threat to him, the American, because of the terrible atrocity that the sanctions and other things U.S. entirely does to convey America's interest is sort of not working. If the competition wasn't so harassingly discriminatory, then the rest of the world would have developed extravagantly, and having enough opportunity for immigrant Europeans to come into the Asian world, for example, as aliens and start to contribute back to their Western European racist economies. The competition is more or less telling you that you and your fundamental rudimentary basis and its interests is such a threat that we don't even want you to be giving us the opportunity to increase our racism and our position of wealth, because you end up sleeping with our women and entirely destroying whatever ancestry we've done to not let you do whatever it is you want to do. And so the entirety of having this identity of rudimentary and physical dominance over in your intellectual property and having this position to have this excellency destroy you is sort of this competition that you have to realize that the U.S. military has its bases all around the world. Now that you know the USA has its bases all around the world and entirely doesn't want you to increase its own wealth by developing or allowing other nations like Asian nations to develop their wealth that in turn will develop America's wealth, you know now that this is a huge problem and it's called competition. My name is Rob Day and I go by the Slurpee Maker, and I have been sort of in and out of many good and bad things. And throughout my life in New York City, I really come to the understanding that even if you have good networking, the networking will sooner or later be influenced by America's tyrannical harassment and discrimination in the global international field. Whatever tone, interest, diction, or military interception or global sanction on economies is more or less the ability to tell you that he is in this position of number one and is going to continue to adjust the policy that will help everyone get the money. Any minority rise of a man trying to get the money will inherently convince a white woman a new perspective on making money, so they are trained as white women, or else they won't be accustomed to the white money that is available for just long enough to tell minorities no. What America's interest is more or less the stealing and collection of berries from the bush of minority intellectual property that men and led their coalitions for wealth and prosperity to tell white people this is a new way to make money, because she discovered the minority design of money run by U.S. atrocious sanctions and terrorism. They're able to make money and present new possibilities of money as minority men for more than a year than it would make a white woman think for 6 months to have ideals sleeping with a minority man, and potentially destroy the hard work of ancestry and the sanction policy, terrorism, military, and white men have committed to creating. So you having the specific interest to have fundamental and rudimentary wealth is now a threat, and white men all over the world and all over the place are going to say, "Get this guy out of here," because he feels like another cockroach, a part of the white species, is more or less not going to be able to achieve, as well as his simple monolingual brain of only speaking one language by having the employment of racism isn't going to suffice his predominantly interest.